All right, I am going to start by just bringing up on the screen here what we're going to be doing today, working on this issue on the PyNite repo. You can get the URL here. This is where all the background info can be found. And let's pull that up now. So here we go. So back up there. This is sort of the background and everything. And basically, PyNite is excellent. And Jaywalk82 has been adding new features, and he's working on some new ones right now. But in the process of using PyNite for teaching, a lot of the new features have been sort of making small changes to the API. In other words, the names of the commands or the parameters of the commands. In other words, the functions or the methods and the parameters they take. When we change the parameters or we change the names of the functions or methods, then anybody who wrote any scripts or any code using the previous names for functions or parameters, their code no longer runs unless they change it to match the new one. This is what's called a breaking change. Now, PyNite is very clearly not in what's considered a stable sort of release, and that can be reflected here in you can see that in these version numbers here. These are sub 1.0 version numbers, which indicate to us, because Jaywalk82 is using semantic versioning, that do not expect anything to be the same between each release. Now, that is great sort of early on in the project, but as people develop it, as people join the project either as contributors or as users, and people start using the code in production work, it's nice to know that when new features come out, that anything that you relied on previously is not going to change and thus break your code. It's nice to be able to sort of have what's called a stable release, knowing that any new changes that come about aren't going to cause breaking changes for code previously written. So I raised this issue about 4 weeks ago, and suggested that it would be really great if PyNite could move to version 1.0, and I gave just some suggestions here, and some other folks have chimed in, giving their own suggestions of what could help make the API more stable, and I am going to start working on just a few of them right now. So one of the ones that is important to me is that there is once you create a model, you build it all up with adding nodes, and you add members. But once you run the model and analyze it, the only way to access those forces on the nodes or the members is to access the underlying nodes and members dictionary. Now, which is all fine. The thing is that the attributes are named with a capital letter, which sort of make it seem like that's a convention typically reserved for class definitions. And so I was suggesting that we just make those lowercase to make them sort of conventional Python attribute names. Same with load combos is currently in title case, but making it load combos. And so the reason I'm suggesting such a small change is because if we're going to be going to a version 1.0 release, it would be nice if everything was sort of consistent with Python conventions. And generally speaking, Jaywalk82 has got very good and consistent Python conventions, except for when it makes sense to break them. And oftentimes when we're working with finite element code, it can make more sense to use title case or capital letters for things like global forces, sort of FX versus capital FX. And so I think that Jaywalk82 has made some really great decisions about how he's named things. And so this is just sort of a small thing. So we're going to go ahead and clone or create a fork and clone this repo and start doing a contribution here. So first off, fork it under my name. Copy the main branch only. No, I want everything. And the reason I want everything is because I know Jaywalk82 is currently working on a new feature set on a new branch called DKMQ. And I want to make sure that all the changes I make are based off of the most current branch, all of his work. So I'm going to work off of the DKMQ branch, and I'm going to clone it using GitHub Desktop. Throw it up here, clone repo. Put the URL in. I'm going to put this into my working on actual project code stuff. And it looks like I've got an old one there, so I'm going to just delete that before I move on here. PyNite deleted. There we go. Okay, so now my purpose here is to contribute to the parent project, so I'm going to click OK to that little box, and now I just go ahead and open this up in VS Code. So I've got VS Code open on the other window here. I'll open up PyNite before I bring it over. PyNite, open. Okay, so it's been a while since I looked through the PyNite code, but from what I remember, it was very well organized. So PyNite, this is where all the stuff is. And so the part that I'm interested in is the FE model 3D, which is sort of the main thing that you interact with when you are working on a finite element model. And so there's the change that I want to make, is setting the names of these attributes here to lowercase. So this is honestly going to be super simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first off, I've got to do a quick check here for self.nodes, and I'll just use a control F and look for self.nodes and replace those all with self.nodes underscore. So let's see, you can see all the changes here. So if I made a change here, I got to update all of these because all of this code references it. So, but look at this. Oh, I've got self.nodes lowercase. So I want to make sure I'm matching the case as well. So I'm seeing all the self.nodes here in FE models 3D. There we go. So we'll just do a find and replace. Self.nodes. All right. Make the replacement here. Place. And there we go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through and do all these changes here. Oh, and look at this. There's also other stuff here. I've got to change at property load cases. Here we go. Load combos. Oh no, this is a different thing. Yeah, I got to change the at property here. So let's go through all these first. Doing simple control F stuff. Now, just because I did self.auxnodes doesn't mean that I've caught everything, right? So self, and I want these to say self.auxiliary nodes. Now this is a major breaking change here. You can see all the changes that happen internally. So this is, you're going to update a lot of code, but in a very sort of small way. So let's make those changes there. Self.materials. Make those changes there. And then we're going to look through self.sections. Oops, capitalized. There we go. Place. Self.springs. There we go. Replace all those. Members. Oops. There we go. Self.members. Take a quick look here. Yep. Self.quads. Okay. Self.plates. Now there is a part of a discussion here about whether plates are even necessary considering that we've got quads. And I thought that it would be useful to have a plate. But apparently the DKMQ element is sort of can do the work of both plates and quads quite well. So that is, I think, interesting. So meshes. There we go. But I'm not going to deal with that right now. So a big thing about when you're making a contribution, one, you have a conversation with the project author and ask if the changes that you want to make are in line with the vision they have of the project, or do they, and because you might find that either A, they don't like what you like. Now, okay, look at this. They don't like what you like, or they're already implementing it, or they're doing something. Either way, there's always worth checking in first. Second thing is, when you make a contribution, you want to make sure that it's like very atomic. In other words, you want it to be just one specific thing. You don't want to go about fixing 2 or 3 things at one time, because let's say they wanted fix 1 instead of fix 2, but you've kind of packaged it all together, so now it's a lot of work to like try and separate it apart. So do sort of one thing at a time here. Now, here's the thing, what I was saying about finite element name convention versus PEP8, Python PEP8 name convention. Underscore capital D. Now, because it's got an underscore here, this is saying to us, the users here, that we are not supposed to be using this attribute directly. The underscore is meant for internal use only, meaning internal to the code. And so this, and also considering that it's a nodal displacement here, and that's like a global displacement, I think that keeping that as capital D is wise, and instead of making it, lowercase d. So let's go now. I've got to change this guy. Property. I want this to say load cases. That's for consistency. Load cases. Let's go through now and do a quick check here for capital node across the whole project. And let's take a look. Oops, don't replace it with load combos. Let's take a look at node. Now you can see here that changing the attribute name can get hairy. Self.nodes is easy to do because that's all going to be inside this class where nodes is defined. But this is all in example code or in the analysis model. So we've got model.nodes, find node 3D, import node 3D. Now I don't want to change node 3D, yeah? I want it because that's the name of the class. That's exactly where it should be, title case. Member 3D, aux node, self aux node, okay. All right, so let's take a look here. Model.nodes looks like a good thing, a next thing to sort of work on. Model.nodes. So let's do that. Model.nodes. Let's look for those. Analysis. And of course, there is an excellent test suite for PyNite. And so what we're going to be doing, as soon as we've completed making this change here, we are going to run the test suite and make sure everything still works. That is the value of the test suite. It allows you to make changes like this and validate things quite quickly. Okay, so model.nodes, well, that's one of the values of the test suite, I should say. Let's go ahead and replace that. That goes across the project. Now let's keep doing this. We got to do it the rest of these here. Is model.aux nodes. Tedious, yeah. But we only spent a few minutes doing this. It's probably just more boring to watch. Actually, it's kind of boring to do too, but it's the work. That is the work. Model.aux nodes. Am I doing something wrong here? I'm not seeing any here. No results found. I swear we saw aux nodes before. Let's see where they are. I swear we saw some. Here, I'm going to go back to nodes. Aux nodes. That's what it is. Capital AUX. Model.aux nodes. Model.aux nodes. There we go. Moving on. And materials. Capital. Okay, looks good. Sections. Now I'm thinking, of course, I should have just done the, well, this is going to be tedious either way. There we go. Model.sections. Springs. Okay. Now the reason I didn't just search for like all just like springs like this is because there's going to be a lot of things where it's not really appropriate to change stuff, right? So I'm searching for code specific syntax, and that prevented me from changing things in doc strings where it was sort of unwarranted. But look at this, there's also another spot here. Springs, element dicts. I'm going to make a note about element dicts here. Element dicts. Take a look for that. Okay. Members. Model.members. members. Fix that up. Model.members. There we go. This is in the documentation, so that will be good to change. Yes. Yes. Okay. And we've got quads. Here we go. Let's see. For element in, yeah. That looks right. Porting. Yep. Okay, that looks good. Yeah. Plates. Plates. Let's take a quick look. That looks good. Meshes and load combos. Last two. I promise we'll do something different after this. All right. Model at meshes, place, and load combos. Okay, and then I'll also make sure to take care of load cases. Okay. Load cases. Maybe it's model.load cases. Model.load cases. Any of those? No. Let's take a look for load cases. Nope. Okay. It's weird. It seems that nothing references the load cases here. All right. Self.load cases. Nope. Okay. I think it looks like it. All right. So I'll save these changes here. And let's go ahead and do a quick run and see if anything is broken here. I've got a whole bunch of terminal windows open on the other screen here. Close all this jazz. Okay. CD home. There we go. Okay, now, in order to run this, I don't remember if I have a Conda environment set up for PyNite. Let's take a look. Nope. Good. So let's go ahead and create one. Conda create in PyNite. Let's do Python equals 3.12. Oh, it's taking a minute. It's unfortunate. So let's take a look. Oh, here we go. And then we're going to install UV as well, so that way we can have some quick install action here. Conda activate PyNite. And then pip install UV. There we go. Now we can go into our PyNite directory. And we have set up the txt. Okay, so I'm going to go uv pip install -e editable dot. There we go, fast install. Let's do now a quick test here. Now let's take a look at the testing. Right, now if I recall, I can't remember if Jaywalk82 is using PyTest or unit test. It's using unit test, okay. So, it's been a minute since I've used unit test frameworks. I have to remind myself how to run a test with unit test. Let's see, maybe there's instructions here for running the tests. No. But you just type unit Python-m unit test, is it maybe? Let's try that. Python-m unit test. And test folder. Nope. What are they saying here? Empty module name. Okay, yeah, okay. Serious, let's just get out of here. Python-m unit test. And let's see, testing. There we go. Oh, look at that. They all failed. Oh, no module name SciPy. No module name SciPy. Right. Because SciPy is not listed as a dependency, which is unfortunate. Okay. Pip install SciPy. Oh, uv pip install it. Uv pip install SciPy for speed. There we go. And now we can do, let's try the get test again. Oh, 2 passed. The rest are erroring out. Let's see what the errors are. There's a lot of tests in here, and some of these tests are working, I think, on sizable models here, so it might take a second to finish running here. Come on. I wonder what the hang up is here. Oh. Something passed. Whatever it was, it passed. That's great. Okay, right. Attribute error. This is a NumPy 2 thing. Right. Is this all the same thing? Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is what we want. This is what we want. Boof.members. Beam on elastic foundations. Okay, so that's an example or just a test case that needs to be updated. Let's take a look. Are these all item set? Here we go. Yeah, another test case. We're going to update meshes. So I got to look for maybe dot meshes. Let's see. Item set, item set, item set. Okay, so this looks like this. Yeah, I've run into this error before with recent PyNite, and it looks like something that needs to get fixed because there was breaking changes in NumPy. That NumPy 2.0, the major version number, means that there's a breaking change. So we need to do some updates here to the code to deal with those as well. So I think that is going to be a separate issue, a separate commit anyway. FE model 3 or a separate pull request. FE model 3 has no attribute zones. Here we go. Okay, so we've got a few just these test cases. So where the attribute error seems to be coming up is not in the code base itself. It is in the test cases, which is good. It means we're on our way. All right, what about this? What's this going on here? Item set, item set. Nodes. Is this a test? Yeah, it's a test. Perfect. Perfect. Test case, test case. Test case. Test case. What's this one? Test case. Okay, good. All right, so we're on the right track then. Let's take a look at updating these tests here. So what do we have? We had like dot quads. Why am I not seeing anything? Dot quads. Meshes, what it was. There we go. Found them. Dot meshes. Those are the only three. Good. And what are the other ones we had? Nodes. Now this one's a little bit trickier, I think. Node.rst. Okay, so this is updating documentation. That's good. Yes. Documentation update. Good, 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 good. Maybe I should have done dot nodes the whole time. I would have caught a lot more, I think. I've just been having done a lot of find and replace and then screwed up a lot of find and replace. I'm just a little bit on the cautious side. All right, that looks good everywhere though. All right, and then we've got dot members. In the docs, here's the BUF, the beam on elastic foundation one that was in the errors. P delta analysis. These are all examples. Good, good, good. There we go. Okay, and then we've got, let's go back to FE Model 3D just to go through our list here. Dot aux nodes. No. Okay, so there's nothing there. So we've covered all those ones. That's good. Dot materials. Nothing there. Dot sections. Nothing there, which means that they're also not in the documentation, which is worth noting. Springs. Nope. Members we already did. Quads we already checked. Dot plates. Dot meshes. And dot load combos. There we go. Dot load combos. Dot aux nodes. Dot values. Oh, that's what I did here. I got to make a mistake there. And that's an attest there too. Great. All right. So now let's keep in mind this is going to take a sec. Let's maybe think a moment before we check a moment before we run it again. Nodes been updated. Yeah. Load combos. Yep. Nodes been updated. So we're gonna do one commit first, and then we're gonna do a second commit here to update this. No, I don't want to do 2 commits on this pull request. That's a completely different scope. We'll do one pull request and then a second pull request. Item set, members, done. Nodes, done. Okay, I think we're good to run. So we'll do commit. Oh, I mentioned my note about the element dicts. Let's go take a look at the element dicts. Here we go. These, we want to make sure we get these. Springs, members, plates, quads. Looks like there's a few spots where this happens. So let's go look at element dicts equals. Oh, only one spot. Element dicts. Let's look at the other spots. Yeah, that's my note. Perfect. Good. Let's take that out. Let's take a look at the changes. Oh, let's get rid of that line. Don't want to create a change where it doesn't need to be one. There we go. So those are all the changes. It looks about right. One red line, one green line. Good. Okay. All right. This is a big PR in terms of the amount of files changed. we'll call it refactor, changed attribute names in FE model 3D to be all lowercase. Or let's just say all snake case, because I'm separating words too. Now I don't want to commit to the main branch. I want to commit to a, look what I did here. Choose a branch to merge into main. So I'm off of this main branch here, pull requests, branches. I want it to be off of DKMQ. So I am going to upstream. Let's change this. I want to bring all my changes to DKMQ. There we go. It's already published on GitHub, yeah. Where's all my stash changes? Okay, let's try that again. Restore. DKMQ. Bring my changes to DKMQ. There we go. That's what I want to do. All right, so now I want to make a new branch based off of DKMQ. And that will be refactored attribute FE model 3D attribute to snake case. All right, bring the changes over to the new branch. And now we've got ready to commit. There we go. Publish this branch. That'll publish to my fork. Okay, now let's go back and now let's try to run the tests. Great. More passing. And hopefully all of the E's are just that NumPy item set error. And if it is, then I'm going to go ahead and open this pull request and then immediately open a second branch and fix this item set behavior, because that is a pain in the butt and needs to be fixed. And the nice thing about this syntax change here is that this item set is like a special method to like set the item on an array, a NumPy array, but this is like, this syntax is just as good, and it works in NumPy 1.0 and it works in NumPy 2.0. And NumPy 2.0 is just saying, hey, we're not going to maintain this method anymore. We're just use the normal setting, indexing versus setting. So that'll be a nice change to make, but it looks like, again, there's going to be a lot, and that one's going to be a harder one to do, I think, because I can't just do like a find and replace same. It would maybe, this would be a situation perhaps where we could use a regex find and replace. So I don't use regex often, and when I do, I use a cheat sheet that I look up on the internet. Ooh, a failed test. There we go. That's good. That's good. Failed quad cylinder flexure test. All right. That is more interesting now. NP not less than 0.02. Okay. So that indicates that maybe something happened here. That's good to know. All right. So everything else here, let's look for item sets. Item set, item set, item set, item set, item set. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, 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 yep. All right. So item sets here. Now there's one failing test. And why is that? Let's take a quick look at testtanks.py and see if something jumps out to us. Testtanks.py. Let's see. Tank model, add material. Oh, I know why. I know why this might be failing. This doesn't actually have anything to do with me or what we just did right now. It has everything, I think, to do with the DKMQ element that JWalk82 is currently working on. And that makes sense, because changing an attribute name like the way that we did should not cause a numerical errors. unless we like accidentally did like a, you know, dot quad to dot plate, you know, oh my God, it's a plate element now. We didn't mean to do that, but I'm pretty sure we didn't have any of those problems. So I think that this is a DKMQ thing and not an our scope. So since that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and open a pull request. All right, preview pull request. Merge commits from into, I don't want to do it into main. I'm going to propose it into DKMQ right now, because that's sort of the active development branch from the conversation on GitHub. And I also asked JWalk82 if he could create a version 1 branch, so that way we could sort of like move all these sort of version 1 changey sort of stuff into that one separate branch. But I think DKMQ right now would be the most appropriate one to do that in, unless he wants to create a new one. So I will say I'm doing this to merge into DKMQ, and let's see how that goes. Here we go, at JWalk82. This, here is, I'll just say 82. I am suggesting, or what am I doing? I'm saying that this should go into DKMQ because it's the only development branch, it seems. DKMQ seems to be the most appropriate development branch to suggest merging into for now. If you are able to create a 1.0, let's put that in little, there we go, version 1.0 branch, then I can change the PR target. Okay. I can't say that all tests are passing, because there is another issue with dot item set. Being deprecated. Deprecated in NumPy version 2. I am going to create another PR to fix the item set issue. However, there are no attribute errors in the code base from these attribute name changes. And I believe all of the documentation and examples have also been updated. There we go. Okay, now, so I've done that change, but so here's the thing. I'm now going to go in and fix this item set business. And I'm going to do that again off of the DKMQ. So I'm going to sort of like leave this branch with all these attribute name changes and like set it aside. And I'm going to go back to the previous state where those attribute name changes have not yet been applied. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make the item set changes off of my attribute name changes, because that like requires merging like one and then the other. But I want Craig, JWalk82, to be able to pick and choose which ones to merge and not feel like he has to merge in a whole bunch at once. So we're going to go back to DKMQ now and create a new branch. Make sure we're all good. Current. Yeah, okay, good. And create a new branch off of DKMQ. And this one's going to be called fixes NumPy item set deprecation. There we go. And publish that up to GitHub. Okay, so now let's get back to it. Now we should be back to should not see. We should see dot members. Let's see. Let's go back to. Yep, here we go. Back to capital title case attributes here. Let's go back to the top of FE model 3D. Yes, that is what we have. That is good. All right. Now we're going to look for item set. And let's look at the context where it is. Okay. So what we can do here, fixed end reactions and play. Oh my gosh, it looks like it's such limited scope. This is so handy. I wonder if there's just a faster way of even doing this. I'm not going to get into it. We're just going to do a simple change right now. I think what I'm thinking of is like, oh, what if we, just literally put these expressions in their respective spots in the matrix, or at least assign them a variable name and then just populate them. But that's just too much. Let's just focus on how he's got the code right now, and just change the code that as it exists, and make it into something that's compatible here. So what we'd want to do here is we want to change item set into a regular index lookup. So we can do this like that. Dot item set. Take this load combos business out. Replace it with square bracket. And here's the thing. We need to fix a square bracket on the other side of this. Yeah? How do we know which one it is? Well, by coincidence, they're all 0 parentheses. Let's just do a quick search for 0 parentheses. See if that catches any other spots. Oh yeah, tons of spots. We don't want to do that. Here we go. Dot item set. So this might be a good spot for doing try doing a regular expression here. And let's see. Dot item set. We're going to put that in quotes. And then we put this as like \D and then quotes like that. Is that right? No, I got a bad one. All right, so what was it if I wanted a literal here? Do I put that in square brackets? Let's find out. There we go. There we go. Dot item set. Put that in quotes. I'm like reaching and guessing here. let's do a quick. Let's pull up a regex cheat sheet. Like I said again, I don't use regex very often because I don't often need to, because the string methods in Python like almost always do everything I need it to do. Python regex cheat sheet. Here we go. I often use this one. Let's see here. Matches the expression to its right at the start of a string. Okay, I don't want to do it at the start of the string. Nope. I want to match the expression to its left, m times not less. Let's see here. Find all. No, let's see. Matches the expression as represented by a, but unlike, it cannot be retrieved afterwards. All right, let's see here. I'm just looking for doing a string literal. How do I do a string literal that has parentheses in it? Do I have to escape them? Oh, I probably have to escape them. That's probably it. Okay, so let's just go back to this. Item set. Backslash. Backslash. Take that out. Here we go. All right. Now we're getting there. All right, so \d, comma, \d. Okay, all right, let's put this as a group. \d, commas. Oh, I don't want to replace the, I don't want to replace that whole thing there. I want to sort of like work around it is what I'm thinking. Okay, so there's the item set. And I want to sort of leave the stuff in the middle. And oh, I got it. Okay, replace this with this. Here, like that. Replace this with \d, comma, \d, there, \d, comma, \d, /forward. Oh, not quite. Oh, I don't want to replace it like that. Do I do a regex in both spots? Do I get to do regex in both locations? I don't want it to like literally put \d in there. All right, so the regex, it seems, is not helping me, or I don't know how to use it properly. Both of which are possible. Okay, so let's just do the item set. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do some hacky thing here where I'm going to put in a odd character here so I can find these spots again. So let's take off the regex. There we go. Let's find those spots by replacing them with this. And so that way I can find those again, because that's not regular Python syntax. So that will do that replacement. Okay, and now I can search for that. There we go. It's a documentation. It's a markdown syntax, of course. Okay, so I've got most of them though. There we go, plate 3D, there we are. And now I want to change these. I want to change this. Some \d. Let's try this regex thing again. Maybe that'll work. \d. Right. Escape. No. I'm already screwing it up. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's just do here. Let's get this back again. Okay. So 9. Let's look where these are. Are these all in the same spot? They probably are. So if I need to find them, they're probably easy to find. Okay. I don't want to have to manually go do that, but I might just need to manually go do this. Okay. And then what about these ones? Oh, wait, there's more of them. No, these are all of them. Yeah, they're all in fixed end reactions here. Fixed end reactions point load, line load, fixed end reactions.py. Good. So they're all in that file. Okay. Plate. And they're all at the top of the file. Okay, I'll just do this manually. There we go. So replace. Oh no. Dismiss. There we go. So replace those. 54 results in 2 files. That's good. Okay, good. Yes. All right. And now, just go ahead and do this. Pop. There we are. Do the rest of these. There we go. Now, the amount of time there that I spent faffing about with regular expressions, I could have just done this and gotten it done. Well, no big deal there, because the whole point of this is to always try to learn something. Unfortunately, I did not sort of learn how to use the regular expression the way that I would like to. Oh, what's going on here? I broke something. I broke a few things here. All right. Yeah. Item set. Oh, right. Okay, no, this is fine. I just got to replace. I got to do a bit more work. There we go. There we go. Like this. And then I've got to close off a bracket. I got to get rid of these brackets at the end here. Not that. There we go. Yeah, there's more to this. I think it's just, yeah, you got to go manual. Okay. There we are. And we'll know if it worked by running the test. Oops, don't want that there. There we go, that looks good. Change these ones. This change, just doing this item set stuff, will make, I believe, will make PyNite compatible with NumPy 2.0, which is going to be a big thing and important because no one's going to be using NumPy 1.0 beyond a certain point. Now I need to get to the ends of these lines. Now, if I knew Vim key bindings, this would be no big deal, but I don't know the Vim key binding. So let's just go get me same sort of thing here. Let's just do a control. Oh, there it is. Same spot. Fix these ones. Oops, don't do that. There we go. Okay. Okay, oops, don't put that in there. All right. So those are all of those ones in fixed end reactions, and now we just got to do plate 3D, and this is a nice and fast. Because I'm going to be doing the same thing to all lines here, and we've got multiple things to do. Just do this. There we go, control cursor, and then go to the end. There we go. All right. That should solve our NumPy problem. Let's try running some tests. There we go. Hey, look at that. We got a whole bunch of passing tests. Awesome. That's great. And looks like we're going to have to wait a sec for the rest of them to finish here. But that will be a very productive hour spent doing updates to PyNite. One of them sort of an immediate issue. The other one sort of a longer term version 1.0 issue. So this will be, I think, very good to start off with. Wait for these last few tests to finish up. And we are getting close. This is that one that's like doing a whole bunch of testing for like one dot. Okay. And then we're almost ready here. Oh, the one fail. Right, that's the one fail. It's probably the that shell element. Yep, that's the one. Great. Okay, so let's do a commit. Fix, remove dot item set from codebase. Makes PyNite NumPy version 2.0 compatible. There you go. Do the pull request. Hey, I did not change. Oh, I see. It's going to the main branch. I'm like, I didn't change any of that stuff. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's what I want. Make a little note here. This PR is probably the most pressing one because it fixes a breaking change that happened in NumPy version 2.0. The branch is based off of DKMQ. All tests pass except the tank test, which I believe you are currently working on. Note, this PR is completely independent of the other PR. Which is the other PR? Should probably reference that by number. Let's create the pull request, then I'll just edit it afterwards. 205. What is it, 204? Yeah. There we go. Cool. All right, that is it for today. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty boring. But open source maintenance can sometimes be pretty boring. So anyways, that's creating 2 pull requests to update an existing code base after having a conversation with JWalk82 and Craig on it. Oh, I hope my camera didn't, oh dear. I hope my camera didn't go to the wrong one here. Maybe this will be a total bust. I need to get a Stream Deck instead of using number keys as hotkeys for changing my views. Yes, get a Stream Deck. All right. Anyways, so hopefully this stream wasn't totally ruined with me just being on camera the whole time, but that it was useful for somebody. Anyways, I will leave it there. Have a good day, everyone.